Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good week in trading so far this week. It's been a little rough week for us. We've been adding to our NVAX, and NVAX has been pulling back quite a bit. I'm going to show you some things on that chart tonight on NVAX. Kind of give you my thoughts on what's going on. Oh, and it's just based off uh, 20 years of experience and what I've seen before. I'm just going to talk about some things. You may take that with a grain of salt, or you can, just count it as something maybe that's possibly happening. But I think Novavax is in good shape, even though we've had a bad week uh, so far. There's some things that could cause it to go up. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We'll take a look at the portfolio, see what it did today as well. Take a look at the markets tonight, see what's going on there. But let's go ahead and just jump over. I want to jump over and talk about this Novavax. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so what I've got up here is a 5-day chart of Novavax. As you can see, the trend is down for sure on that 5-day chart. A couple of things I wanted to talk about though is as I was watching this stock this week, I noticed that every time it tried to go up, it was brought back down. And what I mean by that is I can see it ticking up on low volume. And then all of a sudden, anytime it got up to started an upward trend, you'd see it drop 25, 30 cents in one whack. Usually it's moving, pennies at a time, a nickel at a time or something like that. But then all of a sudden you'll see it just get knocked down to, 30, 40 cents sometimes. And then it starts ticking its way back up and it's knocked back down. So somebody, I always like to refer to them as the big boys, are keeping this thing down, taking people's shares, getting rid of some weak hands. It could be shorts as well that just continue to short. The shorts in control. But it's just something that I've noticed over the years and seen happen. Now, the question is it going to stop? That's always the question. I believe it's going to stop. I believe it's going to stop when there's some news that comes out because this is what drives the stock right now is news. But I wanted to show you some patterns here that I look for when I'm watching charts as well. I want you to notice this week on the 19th, you can see, and I want you to notice the volumes. The volume's down here at the bottom. And this volume, as these charts tick down, as the stock ticks down, you'll notice the volume picks up. See how much volume we've got here on the dip? That, to me, is people jumping in, taking out stop losses, buying the cheaper shares, and I'm one of those people. So, and I did that on the 19th as well. I bought in at 101. So I bought in 101 somewhere, so it might have even been right in here somewhere. I bought it 101.01. So I'm one of those people, and that's why the volume picks up as well. So, but this type of volume is not people like me. This is the larger institutions. You see, look at the number of shares. See, look up in this area here. Let me show you. As you see the chart there, you can see that's 155,000 shares. Right here is 149,000 shares. That's not people like me. There's not that many people. But you can see, you're talking about 100-something thousand shares at $100. That's a lot of money. So a lot of money moving in here at these dips. Notice that when it starts to climb, it's on low volume. Now that's other people that are, they'll see the trend change and they'll start buying in and making day trades and everything else. I had a good opportunity to make some money on those shares I bought, but I decided to keep them because I see this manipulation going on. I see it getting beat down when it goes up, so I decided to keep those shares. All right. So you can see it. And another thing I noticed too is this run. If you look at this time here, It usually starts around lunchtime when it starts going back up. And then when the big boys get back from eating their hamburgers or whatever they eat, uh, they have a tendency to knock it back down as the day goes on. All right. So that's what happened on the 19th. And look at the 20th, Tuesday. It does the same thing. The volume picks up real heavy as it's getting knocked down. All right. So I'm one of these first people that come in here and I'm buying too. I buy at 98 and I buy at 96 on this day here. All right. You see here, 11:15, they go to lunch, eat their hamburgers, and the stock runs back up. Okay. Somebody came in here and did a large trade right there at 283,000 shares. Okay. At 12:35, if I had to guess, because it went down right after that, that was probably some big boys coming there and dumping a bunch of shares. And then they couldn't hold it down, and it just ran back up. So it just finally they finally got it down later in the day, and so that's where it ended up. All right, but they knocked it down towards the end of the day, and it just kind of drifted off. All right, today, same pattern just about. You see where they knock it down, the volume's heavy, 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 especially in these dip areas. And then, about 11:30, they start to tick back up again. All right, no heavy volume here. It stays pretty flat, no heavy volume. And then towards the end of the day, the volume starts to pick up, and they're driving it down. And as you can see here, there's some heavy volume right at the close, and it looks like that was on the upswing. So they're probably, scooping up some shares there. But this is the kind of thing I look for, and I've gotten this from years and years of watching stocks and things like that. So even though this looks terrible and it makes your portfolio feel terrible, this is something that you have to deal with sometimes. And so what do we do? What do we do? Do we keep holding these shares? And the answer to that is, for me, is always a yes. I'm not about to get out of something that I've bought, and I know this thing can turn on a dime. So today it closed, about 90, 91 or something like that. It was pretty low. It was low of 90, so I think it was 91.25 or something it closed at. So rough day, rough week for NVAX, but we've added shares, and we've got a good stake in it. I didn't buy any today because I feel like I've got enough in that one stock right now. And I actually probably a little heavy in it. But what I'm waiting on is some news to come out about the P2 data, the specifics on that, a little bit more detail. It wrapped up not too long ago. It was supposed to come out mid-October, and it has not come out yet. So kind of hoping it would come out this week. They have a tendency to release news a lot of time on Thursdays. Hopefully tomorrow is the day. It just depends. Sometimes they seem like they wait for a good green day on the market sometimes when they release. So I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'm expecting that to come out any day. So that's the hope, that we're holding these shares, and we can get them up there to about that 114, 117 level again. And then we'll start selling some of them once we get up to that 114, 117 level. Last ones we sold at 121 and 122, I think it was. But anyway, it's hard to hold these. Again, you're swimming against stream, and that's what you have to do sometime. It feels a little scary when you're doing it, but you gotta have confidence in what you're doing. And so we're going to hang in there for that data. Another piece of information that we may get in the meantime as well. I don't think it's going to drive it as much as the P2 specific data, especially if it's good. If it's real good data, then that's going to be better than anything. But a P3 announcement for the U.S. We've already got it one going. I think it's in the U.K. that they're going in with that now. I'm not sure. It could be Australia. I can't keep them straight. They've got so much going on in each country. So don't have any, I don't have any doubts that Novavax is going to probably do pretty good with this vaccine. But this is a pharmaceutical company, so you got to be careful. But I feel confident in this one. So we're going to hang in there on it. P3 announcement for the U.S. may come out as well. We may get a little pop out of that. I don't know if it's going to get it up there to the 114 level that we, that's probably where we're going to start selling, about 114 and then 117. And then anything above that, we might start selling even more. Got plenty to sell, so it'd be nice to do that. But wanted to show you that. Let's go ahead and jump back over to our portfolio real quick. Let me get back over there to that. But just know that that's things that I look at. You can look at it too. It has a tendency to hold true. So I like to watch that volume and when it picks up. Watch how as it ticks up. Sometimes they'll knock it down. You can see it starting to try to tick up, and then it gets knocked down. But that's just something I've seen over the years. All right, so our portfolio today, we did have a few green ones and mostly red, about half and half actually, 4-3 it looks like. But XSPA down another 4%. That one we were hoping for some kind of pop on that one. That's another one of these COVID vaccines. I talked about it on the last video. I was telling you that was the capsule, but that was a different one that we bought not too long ago. This is not the one that has the capsule type, so disregard that. I did put a note in there for you on that. NKLA, that's our electric vehicle truck, the one that's doing a deal with GM. GM was up good today. They were showing some of their electric vehicle. Also, they are still in talks with Nikola about a deal. So those talks are still going on. But it was up good today. It was up 7%. That's good to see. HTBX, another vaccine type drug here, down again 6.72%. So we don't have large stakes in either one of these. But we were planning for pops, and we did catch a pop on, I think it was this one before, and we bought back into it. So we're just holding those, hoping for get some good news on something there, and it pops up. One of those days where you get 30 or 40% in a day, and we'll probably dump them then. In NVAX, we just talked about that, but that one's again had a rough week. Closed at 91.16 today. You can see down 7%. So tough day for all these vaccine stocks, it looks like. XOM is our ExxonMobil, down a little bit today. X ticked up today. It was doing pretty good. It was up to, looks like it was up to 9.15 at one point today. That one's had a little uptick here lately, so maybe it's getting a little life to it. We need that one too, because that's a good stake we got in that one. ACB up 6%. That's one we're not too concerned about right now. We're not on our radar yet as far as getting ready to sell. So that's kind of where we're at on those. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the market tonight. All right, so let me go ahead and refresh this for us real quick. All right, so as you can see here, we are down. Looks like 160 down on the future, so it looks like we might start out with a kind of rough day tomorrow. Dow's futures falls 150 points amid election and stimulus uncertainty. I'm not holding my breath on the stimulus stuff. I really don't think anything's going to happen with that before the election. Nancy's not going to let nothing happen. So that'd be a win for Trump. She's not going to let that happen. I don't think. I hope she proves me wrong, but I just don't think it will happen. Asia's down. Looks like it's pretty red as well. Let's take a peek at the oil. Everything's red. Looks like oil is back below that $40 mark. It drops 4% on weak U.S. gasoline demand. That all has to do with COVID, I'm sure. And let's see here. Let's take a look at what happened to markets today. You can see we were at across the board on the market today. All right, so that's kind of where we're at on that. As far as tomorrow goes, I'm probably not going to be buying anything else. I want to try to get rid of some of this NVAX that I bought this week. Probably going to keep the cash on the sideline that we've got. Not sure of my percentage right now. I didn't check it today, but We need to cash out on some of this NVAX. We've got too much of it, really, for my comfort level. But I really feel like it's a loaded spring. Of course, it's dropped down so much this week. It's going to take quite a jump to get back into the selling range for us. So, but it can happen in a day. We've seen this thing jump 20% in a day easy, especially when it's down that low. So the watch for the news. Let's just keep our eyes on that one, and let's see if we can make a sell on that before the week's over with. We got 2 more days to get some news, so hopefully that's when we're going to hear something in the next couple of days on that. All right, but I hope you have a good rest of your week in trading. If you got any comments or anything, questions, feel free to shoot me a comment, and I'd be glad to maybe address that in another video or something. And hey, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you can know when the videos come up. And I usually do them Sundays and Wednesdays, and but we'll see you later on in the week. After the week's over, we'll talk about what happened the rest of the week. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button right here. Thanks. Bye.